Welcome to the Horror Friendly Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Horror Friendly Podcast, part of the You Run Podcast Network. My name is Katie, and I am joined by Chantel.
Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good. It's a Monday, you know.
Yeah, but you had a late Sunday night having an amazing time, as we were just saying.
Oh, I did. Yeah, just went to a Sunday night gig. It was good. Yeah, maybe that's why I'm tired. I don't know. I didn't think I was that old, but clearly I am. I can't wake up early if I've been out anymore.
Like, that's the thing. Even as teenagers, like, yes, we woke up early, but we were still like a little bit zombified.
True.
We just kind of,
Yeah, I guess so.
I think there's a lot to be said about, like, everyone's like, oh, as you get older, I'm like, yeah, but the thing is, now if I have a late night, the next day I just sit at a desk and that makes me tired. When I was a teenager and I had to like walk to the train station, that bitter cold walk would wake you up.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
So I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
If we got up and went for a run, we'd be fine, but no.
No, that's not happening.
It's all about the activity.
Exactly.
I'm in a weird mood, sorry.
Hey, that's fine. Well, we were just talking about more successes over the weekend in terms of horror films, right?
Oh, yeah. It's been a very interesting weekend. The Substance is killing it.
Substance is killing it. So we're recording this on Monday the 3rd, and we found out this weekend that it won an Oscar for the hair and makeup, which I think it was pretty deserving of.
I saw a picture and it was, oh my God, I'm going to get it wrong.
Oh, Tyrannosaurus Rex was
Tyrannosaurus Rex. And it was like the best hair and makeup. And I just pissed myself laughing. I was in the middle of the street. I pissed myself laughing because I was like, it got in my head, I was like, hair for that like curling scene. And I was like,
one strand.
Yeah, that one strand. And I was like, I know it's not. I know it was much more than that. But that was in my head, was just this. That's all we did for the hair, and I was dying of laughter. Not Oscar. That it was not that funny, but it was like really amused me. So,
and
yes,
and another thing is Mikey Madison won an Oscar, who played Ghostface in one of the Ghostface in Scream 5, for another film that she did. So it's been a pretty successful weekend for horror.
It's nice to see the acknowledgement, and again, like The Substance was, yes, it's a horror. But I feel like it does cross over like a couple of other genres, maybe not.
Yeah.
I say not drama or anything, but it does kind of, it's not, it's not slasher or anything like that. So I think it definitely did appeal to more audiences when it first came out. So it is getting attention, and horror is finally getting attention. So hopefully the progress will be there. Yeah.
But I don't want to bring it too much down, but I will say that I'm kind of fuming that Tony Todd wasn't acknowledged in the in memoriam part of the Oscars. I feel like, his career stemmed like nearly 4 years.
Yeah.
And I don't really think it's good enough that he wasn't mentioned at all.
No.
So that was pretty disappointing. Again, I don't even know if it was even that surprising, because horror is so often, and horror icons are so often like snubbed at these things. But I don't know, that bummed me out a bit.
Yeah, to be fair, because I think you shared it on our Instagram page, and I thought it was because he had been mentioned, and I got really excited and then realized what actually had happened, and I was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And again, like, not surprised.
No. And there's been a lot of like love on our socials today, like for him, just to kind of, I guess, make up for it as much as possible. So yeah, that is a massive shame. But like you say, like, I think hopefully this might, as we were saying in the Substance episode, like maybe this is a good sign that things are moving on.
Like maybe, and hopefully, I mean, yeah.
We don't know. This could have just been a fluke.
Yeah, as I say, I think because it did technically cross over other areas, and because they did have some big names in there, that probably did help. Not that other horror films haven't, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. I think it's going to be slightly harder to predict. And again, I don't see Scream getting an award anytime soon. But we'll see.
Watch this space, guys.
Yeah. I mean, as we said before, we're the only ones still going to the cinema, so
exactly. Well, talking of Oscar winning films, shall we talk about the film we're covering?
I swear to God, if you tell me this fucking thing has won an Oscar. No, we are going the complete opposite direction. 1 from The Substance, 2 from Oscars, 3 from anything good. We are covering Sharknado 2, the second one. Even when I just read that name, I was like, for fuck's sake. Sharknado 2, the second one, directed by Anthony Ferrant. What the fuck are you doing? Finn and April, en route to New York City in a plane, experience a destructive hurricane. Subsequently, airborne sharks pound the plane. Now it's up to Finn and April to rescue NYC from annihilation. Katie, why are we watching this? What were your first? Was this your first time watching
this? Of course it was. Stupid question.
You say that, but we've watched some shit. So
we have watched some shit. Yeah, that's true. Yes, it was my first time. My first and probably only time I will be watching this. Well, it's really difficult to tell, isn't it? Because the first one, obviously, they know it's shit. We know it's shit. Like it's not. Everyone knows it's shit here. Like,
yeah.
We're all in agreement, even the writers, the cast, it's not pretending to be a good film particularly.
I mean, it has got 61% on Rotten Tomatoes, which for a film that was probably made seriously and that's only scoring like 50 is going to be really annoyed.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes, no one's taking this as a serious film.
No. So it's hard to be like, oh, this is shit, because of course it is. Like, it's insane. But yeah, first time watching, yeah. Where do I even start with this film? It kind of reminds me of Jason Takes Manhattan, when they just thought of the Friday the 13th franchise and they were like, let's just bring it to New York. Let's just see what happens.
How many natural and unnatural and super killers has New York had to deal with?
I know.
Like, New York needs a break, man.
I know. It really does.
The only country UFOs ever seem to land in.
Was this your...
Yeah,
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I guess this was your first time as well.
Yeah, and last. Okay, so we have covered obviously Sharknado. For people who've been around a while, you won't find it on our YouTube channel. We did it way back when with Charlie, and I fucking hated it. No, she picked up a fucking pregnancy test, and that had absolutely nothing to do with them. She didn't even pee on it. What the fuck? There was 20 different stories and none of them matched. Now, here's the thing. I like bad horror, but I don't know what it is about the Sharknadoes that just make me irrationally angry.
That's how I discover it.
But I just don't know why they make me so angry for being so bad. Like, I expect it to be bad, but I think it's because of that. Like, a lot of films are like, we know we're bad, we know we're cheesy, we're going to have fun. The Sharknadoes almost don't go with that, we're going to have fun. They're almost like, we're going to make this great. And it's like the actors really try, even though they're fucking awful acting. And the dialogue of the script is fucking terrible. I actually wrote down some of the lines because I was like,
great.
What the fuck? It's so bad, but I don't understand why I hate this so much. Like, and I think the problem is because I went into the first one expecting to enjoy it for the cheesiness and hated it more than I think I've hated anything for a long time.
You hated it a lot. Like, it's worth going back just to listen to the passion in Tell's voice.
It was an unnatural amount of hate. I remember having to edit out, like, there was such long pauses because you and Charlie didn't know if it was safe to talk, because I just could not stop just getting angry and ranting. It was really awkward to listen to, so I was just like fuming. The video is probably quite funny because you can probably see you two smirking at each other. I haven't gone back to watch because I can't see myself that angry. But I don't know. I think that's the problem. I went into that one expecting to enjoy it and hated it. So this one, I was just like, I am not looking forward to this. So I just kept progressively hating it more and more.
Yeah. Well, funny that you're talking about the lines, because the first bit, obviously, when they're on the plane, and there's so many cameos in this.
So many cameos.
So many. And you first got Kelly Osbourne as the flight attendant, so Finn signs the book, and then Tara Reid is like, oh, we've got a book signing. Do you want to come to that? but like he's already signed the book. So why would Kelly
Oh.
Osbourne want to go to the book signing?
Well, sorry, April signed the book because it was April that wrote it, not Finn. And he was really rude to the air hostess for that.
Yeah, he was. Like,
He was
she didn't know that.
No, he was a dick. Like, she was trying to be nice. She's just trying to do her fucking job, and he's being a prick. So don't like him immediately.
And if anyone says, oh, they were trying to, like, you know, call people out that, you know, it's always the man that, you know, takes over. But it's like, don't make this a feminist issue. This has nothing to do with that. Let's not do this.
This is not a feminist movie, okay? This is a piece of shit. And they tried to put a love triangle in there as well. Like, this is not a feminist movie. This is a bunch of guys with baseball bats trying to play who's got the biggest swing. Like, it's so bad. Yeah.
But yeah, so even then at the beginning, I was like, well, why would she want to go to the signing? Like,
yeah, like
she's got what she's wanted.
Yeah. It's Will Wheaton was on the plane as well.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't see that at the time, but after doing some research, I found out that he was also in it.
It was really annoying because I saw him and I recognized him, but I couldn't place the name. It took me like till the credits to be like, who the fuck was that guy? And it was like Will Wheaton. I was like, yeah, should have got that. The pilots, I think, were also quite well known, but I'm going to forget their names, obviously.
Yeah, so the guy that was in it, he was one of the main characters in Airplane, which is genuinely a very, very good, funny film.
Yes, a good film.
A very good film, a classic. It will go down in ages of like just being a great film. And then, yeah, he was in this. So, yeah. But I don't really know if he's up to much these days. So,
no. I understand. I mean, I try to understand. I'm not in the industry, but I understand that, like, if you're a serious actor or you're a comedy actor, something like this, or if you're Kelly Osbourne, this probably is like, oh, fuck it. I'll go in, I'll have a bit of fun, I'll have a horrific death by a shark. That sounds like fun. Like, I imagine you do have a lot of fun on set, but you're not watching this back being like, look at this incredible work I did. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you were going to go for like a proper Oscar, like a real deep, good role, you're not going to like, your CV's not going to be like, oh, just Sharknado 2. Just thought I should let you know.
Yeah, just the second one.
Yeah, I'm not even good enough to be in the first one.
Well, that was it, because no one knew, like, obviously, how the first one was going to be.
Yeah.
So they needed the money. And that's the thing, look at the budget they had for this one.
Yeah.
And it's just crap. Like, my problem with these, actually, I know my problem with these films is because they're crap. And because they all know they're crap, nobody tries. So, I mean, I've just countered that by being like, they're trying to take it seriously. But like, the acting is so bad, the script is so bad, the CGI is fucking awful. Like, the continuity is terrible. Like,
it's a low budget, Tal. It's a low budget.
Because like they had a lot of they have a lot of cameos in this. That's where their budget went.
I think so. It was 2 million.
Okay, that is low budget, but
I take it back.
Were all these cameos for free?
Well, I mean, they're not cameos from like, you know, A-list celebrities, are they?
I mean, I'm gonna say to be fair, they were probably only there for a day or two max, like to get their scenes filmed because they were in such, like, hence a cameo. But it's just everything takes you out of it. It's like, oh my God, there's a storm. And then 3 seconds later, they're filming in bright sunshine. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, continuity, guys. Like,
yeah. I mean, well, there was Billy Ray Cyrus. He was the Doctor.
I love how you're trying to defend this.
That's not me defending it.
It's like, it's a perfect film. Billy Ray Cyrus was in it.
Yeah. Oh, I know what will win her over. Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, she knows the way to my soul.
No. Like, he played at Trump's inauguration. Fuck him.
I mean, Jared from Subway was in it. Fuck it. Like,
it's full of problematic people as well. So there we go.
Exactly. Like, it's just.
But to be fair, though, that was the fucking biggest jump scare ever when I saw Billy Ray Cyrus was the Doctor. For some reason, it made me fucking howl with laughter when I saw him.
Can you imagine just in a hospital bed and Billy Ray Cyrus walks in like, I'm your doctor. He's just like, no.
Release me. I don't want it. Please, I'll file a complaint.
Change my mind. I'm fine. Your leg's fallen off. I'm fine.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, like, so we start with Finn landing the plane because the sharks have attacked the plane, of course.
Naturally.
And as he's coming to the runway, he's like, yeah, I'm coming in hot. So shit line already off the bat. We're 5 minutes in.
I'm gonna put down the landing gear and aim for it. Clear out the runway. I'm coming in hot.
Just cheesy.
Perfect.
Fuck.
Yeah, there's no communication from like anyone. Like normally, you know, if normally, as if like sharks often.
Well, it was actually you doing that. It was the weather reporter who kept being like, "This is a really rare occurrence that happens on," and it was like trying to make it seem like Sharknadoes are kind of like earthquakes. Like they just happen now and then. You just have to accept it. Like, what is happening? Why is everyone what?
Their power could actually multiply. We could be talking about an EF5 Sharknado on the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
See, I'm buying into it.
No, don't. It's because Billy Ray Cyrus was your last Doctor.
Yeah. He's giving me a lobotomy.
But it's literally that. It's like, I'm coming in hard. I'm going to land this plane. Like you say, with no communication. He's a professional surfer turned bartender turned signing books that he didn't actually write, but he knows how to land a plane.
Yeah, why was he? I guess he was the one that, like, in the first one, like, got eaten by a shark. So he was like,
got eaten.
Yeah, like he survived. He wasn't eaten, was he? Just consumed for a little bit.
The shark just held him in his mouth for a little bit.
Yeah,
but that's why, isn't it? Because he's like the big character to be like, oh, Finn. I suppose because Finn was earlier as well. April came a bit halfway through the film.
True.
If I remember
Finn was
correctly.
an OG.
He was the OG. And then he got eaten by a shark, and she was like, "Oh, my Finn, my lovely man."
Yeah.
Also, why do they keep shooting sharks? Like flying? Why is there always someone? And at this time, it was April shooting a shark that's flying through the air as if that's going to help.
Yeah. I think at that point, like she was hanging off the edge of the plane. She probably just thought, "Well, if I'm going to go in style."
I mean, sure, maybe, but like.
Surely, instead of like leaning your hand out, you'll want to use that hand to try and get back onto the plane.
Exactly, common sense. Yeah, just I mean, I kind of liked that she lost her arm because it did add something to like, oh look.
It added something. Like it was some sort of other story.
Yeah, you didn't just have all these characters who miraculously were like the fittest, most athletic people, could outrun Sharknadoes and escape without a scratch. Like it actually added something.
Excuse me, Tal, there was Ben, the taxi driver.
If we need a cab again, I'm Ben. Just call me, I'll be there. I'm also an actor.
Actually, he wasn't the fittest.
I actually loved Ben, the taxi driver. He was the only kid, well, maybe not the only, but he was like one of the best characters in this.
Yeah. He had so much time for Finn. Like
that also doesn't make sense.
Do you not want to go back to your family?
No. He needs to drive Finn. Like that is his job. That is his fare.
He just wants to shag Finn all the time.
Even though he's like, oh yeah, give me a call in the middle of the shark storm and I'll drive my taxi down the dry road in the middle of what was with the weather lady? Actually, I can't remember her name, but the weather lady was actually really good as well. Because she was still just doing a weather report as if it was a normal weather report and being like, we're going to, in the next hour, there's going to be 2 inches of shark. And I'm like, how is she saying that line? And I still believe she's doing a weather report.
Yeah. Well, they were the real weather people, weren't they? They were the real news, or I think it's the Today Show.
Yeah, they were like playing themselves.
Yeah. Which was fun.
Great.
Although, again, though, problematic people. There's one guy, Matt Lauer, who was one of the presenters, but he got sacked a couple of years ago for a lot of sexual misconduct, allegate things. So there's Sharknado loves problematic people.
Everyone's a piece of shit.
So April loses her hand, which you didn't mind. I didn't mind that either, actually.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the film.
And then that's the end of the goodness. No, because then we meet Ben and he takes him, they get out of the hospital and try to find his family, his sister and brother and niece and nephew and all that. And his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, what is it with these films and kids who are supposed to be betraying kids looking the same age as their parents? Because I remember this was the issue in the first one and it's happened again in the second one.
Oh yeah, because his daughter
looks about 35.
Well, it wasn't, hang on, who was it in the first one? Because it wasn't it was someone he worked with, but she had a crush on him and then she ended up hooking up with his son.
Oh, that was Nova.
Yeah, Nova.
Yeah. No,
Because
yeah.
that wasn't weird. And then this time it's like his niece and nephew who look like adults.
If I can't get Finn, I'll go for the son.
Finn 2.0, the second one. It's so bad. Yeah, no, I don't know. I assume, yeah, because there's problematic people around. They're like, don't hire the kids. This episode's going to be darker than I thought it was.
But yeah, they all looked the same age, and that annoyed me. And also, like, when the mum and the daughter were like exploring New York, like, she just wouldn't leave her daughter alone, and that was really annoying to me. That really pissed me off for like no reason, but it did.
Your daughter's 35. She's married with her own kids. Leave her alone. She's fine.
She's got a mortgage. She's got grandkids.
Oh, it's just so much. And then it was like the dad and the son. It's like, oh, but what if they can't make it? If mum's got a plan, it's good. Stick to the plan. I was like, oh my fucking God.
They just wanted to watch baseball, Tal.
Again, like the baseball got cancelled because of snow and a flood. And then they came outside and there was no flood because Ben, the taxi driver, could drive through it because there was no flood. And then like later they like there's so much water that sharks are literally there, and fucking Finn has to run across the shark's fins and literally jump the shark. But there's no water at the hotel where the ladies are, but New York is flooded. And was like, fucking pick a script.
They just wanted to throw everything at it, just see what stuck.
I also love how there was a Sharknado, sorry, and then they're at the Statue of Liberty on the island going, oh my God, the sharks are in the water. Like, that's more shocking than them being in the tornado.
That's where they should be.
It's like, maybe it's unusual that they're that close to New York, but that's normal. That's their natural habitat.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm on ground. They can't get to me.
That's fine. Leave them there. Like,
yeah, that's perfect.
Like,
that's
why are they so surprised? But then when there's flying sharks, they're like, oh no. And like...
Yeah.
Like, this is just a day-to-day occurrence. Like, no, it's fucking
like,
not.
Oh, this is inconvenient. They're not in the water. What?
Oh no, they're not wet anymore. Yeah, that's where the sharks are pissed off because they're not in their natural habitat anymore. Also, oh look, the sharks are in the water. Let's stand really close to the railing so that it can come and eat me. Zero survival instinct. Like, actual no survival instinct from any of these fucking characters, bar maybe Finn. But he still ran across the back of them, so he's still a twat.
Yeah, he just could fucking walk on water all of a sudden. That's what it looked like. I know he was walking on the sharks, but how come Ben fucked up so massively, but Finn was able to like tread water like fucking Jesus?
Because Finn is the main character.
Finn is Jesus.
And, you know, so I don't know. I really, Ben didn't deserve to die. He literally risked his life for Finn, and Finn just was like, oh, bye then. Sorry, Ben.
I would have preferred for all of them to die and Ben, the taxi driver, too.
That I would have watched. I would watch again. Oh, no.
The final guy.
Sharknado 3, Ben returns.
Ben means business.
I mean, there is a Sharknado 3, but it's called Oh Hell No.
Yeah, isn't there like 5 or 6?
I mean, Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens.
Nice.
And then the last Sharknado, it's about time. The last Sharknado. And I think Finn is still in it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Finn and April are both still in it. So apparently they've survived like 5 of these fucking things.
Yeah, spoiler alert, guys.
In my defense, it's on the film cover.
I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah. I can't even tell you what else happens in this.
Yeah. What else happens in this tale?
Oh,
Come on, there's got to be more we can talk about.
They get to the hotel. Some of them have, that's it, because the hotel's now flooding. So they run up the stairs and then they're at the top and they run downstairs. I did quite like that, like one line, because it was like, we can't go up, we can't go down. Oh no, what will we do? Oh, thank God there's a side door. So they ran out there. But again, the hotel was flooding. And then again, next time we're in, or maybe not next time, but a few scenes, we're back in New York and there's no flood.
They The bit, I don't know if that was in the same bit, but it was when the dad, not Finn, but like Finn's brother-in-law or whatever, tried to
Yeah.
distract the sharks.
Yeah, that was it. That was in the hotel staircase. What the fuck was that?
Hey,
Hey, over here, and then ran away.
sharks can't. I don't think they can hear like that. They're not like,
No, they don't use ears. They use like,
I'm sorry, but they don't like look up and be like, oh, I'm now distracted by this person.
yeah. No, it's like vibrations because they do have ears, but it's like vibrations in the water. It's not going to be like someone outside the water shouting, "Hey, look at me!" and then the shark happens to know where to turn.
Yeah, if he was going to do anything, he should have like put his foot in the water and like paddled or something, just so the shark knew where to go.
Well, that's the other thing because he causes a distraction, but a distraction doesn't normally call the exact same direction that someone else is.
No.
Like, if you're going to be a distraction, you're normally the other side, but he literally shouted it while standing next to Finn. So he was of no help. It was absolutely pointless.
He kind of had to wait for Finn to leave to do his thing.
Like, he literally went, "Hey, shark," and then ran to safety and just left Finn behind is essentially what happened.
Yeah, so he smashed it. He did a great job. And
yeah,
and they were trying to make it like him and Finn were like these childhood besties that used to get up to all
Get up to
sorts, and they were like
mischief.
rebels, and so that could have been a good opportunity for like both of them to work together and like it be some sort of like cringy,
Yeah.
what were they called, like the dangerous duo or whatever they were called. That's what they call us now.
You know, man, it was great to rumble one more time. Glad we got to do that dynamic duo. It was good.
I will distract a shark for you, Katie.
But not actually do it.
No, I'll throw a fish away from the shark in the water, like an actual distraction.
Perfect. Where are you getting a fish from?
I'll steal a kid's shoe, actually. Fuck it.
Same
But,
thing.
like, there was option. Oh, it's so fucking stupid. Yeah, like they tried to add in so much. Like they tried to add in. He had this whole emotional backstory with his brother-in-law. Like he hadn't spoken to his sister in a long time because of it all, and it's like, oh, your sister's not the same person. So have they not spoken since they got married? Because their kids are like 35. Like have they not spoken in like 40 years to his sister?
Well, I guess not. I mean, I guess the kids were meant to be like what,
Teenagers,
15,
probably.
16, yeah, something like that. So yeah, maybe a few years, but yeah,
That's quite a long
it's difficult
time.
because like, yeah, but at the same time, was any of that needed? But I
No.
guess no, I think maybe they needed something to like fill.
Like, yeah, that would have
the
been
film.
fine. But then they also had a love triangle, which wasn't really a love triangle because, again, cheesy shitting line where it's like, "Oh, I forgot to give you something last time I saw you," and then kissed him. Like,
Yeah, and then it went down like a fucking
lead balloon straight down, and then
How
at the end
embarrassing.
it's like, "Oh, was that your ex from high school?" Like, you guys are like 35, 40. Get the fuck over your
Yeah.
school crush. Like, Jesus Christ. And it was just bad. I'm like, you're trying to add in so much of he's like, "Oh, I grew up here, so clearly I have all these connections and history that everyone needs to know about." It's like, we really don't. There's sharks in the sky. What more do we need to know?
Exactly. And it didn't have to be an hour and a half.
It did not.
It could be like an
10
hour.
minutes.
2 minutes. No, but for like to pass as a film, like an hour 15 is perfect.
But again, like, yeah, they could have lost one of those. So they could have
Yeah.
taken out the love triangle, just had the sister things. It would have been like, "Oh, we're off to see my sister. It's going to be awkward, rah, rah. Fine." But, and again, like, there was so much back and forth of like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, nice to meet you, Mayor. I will obviously help you save the town." And I'm going to give this big riveting speech about we don't mess with New York. When New York gets bitten, we bite back. What a load of shit.
Los Angeles didn't really appreciate it.
Well, this is the Big Apple, Finn. When something bites us, we bite back.
Yeah, sharks are falling from the sky.
And also, they're swimming in the street that you're all currently fucking standing in because there's no water.
What's the point of this motivating speech?
No.
Everyone's gonna die.
Also, like, half of them don't, like, actually, they just end up like shooting at the sky and fighting the sharks. But it's just, can you imagine though? Like, I don't know if this is because my old company was like half English. Like, we had sister stuff in America. And it was so funny, like joining the Zoom calls, because there was a lot of that. It was like, we're going to be really inspiring today. And the English used to like turn our cameras off because we're very dry and we're not good at that like motivational stuff. So could you imagine someone doing this in London? Like, yeah, when London gets bitten, we bite back. Everyone would boo them.
It'd get stabbed.
And probably sacrifice them to the sharks.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't go down well. It would not go down well.
And I was like, is this like just a cheesy American thing where they're like, yeah, it's kind of funny, and we're all there like, this is really weird.
Yeah. The one bit I did actually find kind of funny was when the sharks were falling and then everyone got out all of their like chainsaws and like guns, and there was like absolutely packed full in the boot. I thought that was kind of funny because it was just, that was kind of, I don't know whether that was kind of making a bit of a jab at like America having access to guns rather easily, but there was just it wasn't even guns either. It was just like chainsaws, and I thought that was
improvised
like
weapons.
I thought that was kind of funny that there was a hilarious amount of weapons in each person's car.
Well, I did find it because when Ben was like, they were like, oh, we need to get weapons, and he was like, oh, we need to get guns. He's like, not in New York. And again, that was it. I was like, as an English person, all we've heard is how easy it is to get a gun in America.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, are they actually like restricted in certain cities? Because they were like, oh, well, to get chainsaws, you have to go to Long Island or whatever it is they said. So I was like, is that actually true? So is it like people have them in their cars, but they've got them elsewhere at a different time, but you just can't buy them in New York, but everyone has them? I don't know.
Yeah. Why were they in everyone's cars then?
Because I guess, well, I suppose you don't really carry a chainsaw around with you.
No, as in like, how did they get them if they're not allowed them in New York?
Well, if they can't have them in New York, or if they just don't buy them in New York. But like, what are you chainsawing in New York? Like, no one's got a garden with trees.
Sharks.
Sharks. Sorry, I forgot about that Sharknado public holiday every year.
God's sake.
It's like the purge. Once a year.
This is your annual Sharknado. Everything is legal. Everyone gets their chainsaws out.
The poor sharks are like, just put me back in the sea. Like,
yeah.
Happy over there.
I bet they're like low-key kind of stressed as well, like being in this tornado. They're just like, it must like absolutely be like, what the fuck? Like trippy as fuck.
Yeah, and then as soon as you land, someone's immediately trying to kill you. So you're like, well, I'm going to bite back. Like,
yeah, I'm on the shark side.
I am absolutely on the shark. The sharks did nothing wrong, in my opinion. A baby one bit Finn's ass, and like, do you know what? He was just learning. He was fine. He barely hurt him.
One of the best lines was when April was talking about getting her hand cut off, and then she was like, it had a scar on its face. It was like it knew me.
And it had this huge scar across its face. And I shot him in the eye. But it took my hand. It's like he knew who I was.
And I was like, it's definitely going to come back that it's like some old shark that she nearly killed in the first one or something.
Well, it was him flying on the sharks at the end. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? How does he not die?
Like, he's just falling. He's falling with style.
He's falling with style. The shark, he got eaten again. The shark happened to get like kebabbed or skewered on a fucking building. So he landed safely. And I was like, no, he was just surfing a shark through the sky.
Yeah.
Like, even a professional surfer will tell you that's not a good idea. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, obviously it's not realistic, is it?
Oh, it's just not. I just didn't buy it. And then he happened to cut it in half and pull out his wife's bloody arm and wedding ring.
It's like yeah, like who would survive, coming up from a Sharknado and surfing on the shark? That's crazy.
That's crazy. Now we've got a lady with a chainsaw for a hand. It's not a chainsaw. I can't think what it's fucking called. Table saw. Yeah,
I was trying to think of the word before I came on here, and because I knew we had to talk about it. But
it's the fact when she looked at her nephew, was like, I got an idea, but I need your help. Like, why? Do you only have one hand? Like,
yeah, you just made it your whole personality.
Although, to be fair, like if you're going into battle against a shark and you only have one hand, like I'd absolutely put a weapon on there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably infected anyway. Billy Ray Cyrus has fucking treated it, so it's not like
Yeah, but I mean, he only treats achy breaky hearts, so you know you can't blame him.
Wait. I'm here till Thursday.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
So, like, it doesn't matter because it's probably infected. So just
Yeah.
stick something on the end of it.
Just fuck it. Sure. Also,
Ugh.
why did she save the girl in the hospital? There was like a 30-second scene, if that, where she finds a girl, takes her to the basement, and the girl's like, "Thank you, April," and that's it. Like there was no relevance to this kid again.
No,
It
didn't
was-
she say like, "Oh, we'll be brave together" or whatever? she
Yeah,
said? Yeah.
like it would have been quite heartfelt had that girl come back. Had we seen the girl before? Like I think she was kind of shown in an earlier clip.
She just gets eaten by a shark.
She probably did, yeah. But it was such a random, just like, I'm going to help this little girl and now I'm going to go fight a shark. I was like, why did they add that in?
Yeah, because that could have just been a couple of minutes less of this
Yeah.
film, of this misery.
It was just to show that April had a heart.
Yeah. I think it was like,
And
to
a
be
sword.
honest, I think she wasn't really in this a lot. So I think it was maybe just to give her another
Yeah.
scene. I did wonder when I was like getting to the end of this film if like Tara Reid had like other scheduling like conflicts or something, because they weren't in the same scene together very often.
No, they weren't.
So-
So they were like, oh, we'll cut her hand off and then she won't be able to be in as many scenes.
Yeah, I do wonder that, but
Maybe.
also it could just be bad writing, but which is very,
No, not for this film.
but like, yeah, I mean, I guess she's in the majority, but there are like big chunks of the film that she's not in, or at very least they're in separately. So I wonder whether she had like other things going on, but I don't know how busy her schedule is, to be honest.
No, I'm not sure.
No.
Who was the like love triangle?
The woman.
Cannot remember her name. Was it? No, that was first officer.
Uh,
I go through all these names and no one looks familiar. Annoyed woman. Mum on plane, definitely not.
Sky.
Sky. So yeah. So
She
but it-
she was actually a good actor as well. So it was like,
it was very over the top, and unfortunately, I think it did
Mhm.
was playing into like some of those stereotypes you see a lot of. But it was things like when she was like, "I'm going to the toy store," and then came back with a slingshot, and it was like I think she was always trying to prove herself. Like Finn had misjudged her, her dad had misjudged him. Like she really loved him, and then like at the end, he almost was like, "No, you can't fight," but then didn't have a problem with April turning up with a fucking like handsaw. So I was like, "Well, this again, like what? Like why are you being
yeah.
weird about one of them fighting and not the other one? Like, are you sexist? Are you not sexist? Do you not care if April dies?" She's already lost
Yeah.
her hand. Let her die. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It was so weird. His reaction to both of them.
It was kind of weird. I don't know. The whole thing was weird, and like you say, just none of the love triangle bit just wasn't necessary at all.
No,
Like,
not at all. She
No,
could have just
it's-
been a friend from school. She didn't need. There didn't need to be that stupid storyline.
no, because it wasn't even like a, oh, will they, won't they? Like,
No.
like Finn shut it down straight away. We love a loyal
Yeah.
king, but he shut it down straight away. So
No, so you're right. So there was no point. It
yeah, there
added
was like
nothing.
there wasn't like a, oh, who's he gonna pick at the end? Like,
Yeah.
it's done.
Also, I can't imagine fighting sharks falling from the sky and then being like, "Is that your ex from school?" Priorities, people.
What is this that you liked on Instagram?
It's like, well, I think we need to have a conversation later. Like, there's other matters, guys.
There's
Like,
more pressing issues at hand.
she's trying to fucking help. But like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ugh, stupid.
They can both
Um,
do better than Finn. There we go.
Yeah, Finn ain't that great. Like, I know he's been eaten by a shark twice, but that's not that hard to find in a man.
No, Finn thinks his shit's made of gold and it's not.
What's the Shania Twain lyric? That don't impress me much.
We'll just write that in there right now. No.
So you think you're Finn, right?
So you can fight sharks
So you can be eaten by a shark
and
can
survive.
So you're a surfer, right? That don't impress me much. Sorry, I'm getting way too into this. I'm gonna write a whole new song.
Perfect.
Amazing. Well, do you have a favorite spooky moment out of this film, and what would you give it spookies out of 5?
Okay. I guess my favorite moment is when you see April with her new hand thing. I guess that kind of fit with the tone of the film, and that
Yeah.
was quite fun. So I'll go with that. And I'm going to give this a 1. And a 1 is even kind of generous. The 1 is because it's a film and it was free and it was free on YouTube and it was easy to watch.
One is because they tried. It's a participation award.
It was a film with actors in it, and it had a camera.
And that is all I can say.
Yes. I hope yours is better.
Like, as if mine's gonna be better. I think my favorite spooky moment, and I will say actually, I think that's part of my. So we used to call our rating spooks. We changed that because we didn't know that in America it was quite a stereotypical term for when Black people in films are overacting and being used as the spook to just basically be there to die and like overact and be ridiculous. And part of me was like with Vivisha A. Fox, who was playing Sky, almost did feel like she wasn't completely being that character, but it was touching on it. And that's why I was like, I'm not loving that. It's too close.
Yeah. Fair point.
But obviously we have changed it. So I think my favorite spooky moment though was, and I'm trying to find who the TV presenter was, because she was playing herself. I think it was Kelly Reaper. Again, we're not American. We don't actually get these TV shows. Funny enough. But she killed a shark with her, I think it was a hammerhead with her red high heel. And they'd already mentioned the red high heels. And I was like, I will give it that. Because as you say, every American on the street had a chainsaw. But she was the only one that killed them with a high heel. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
I will get the opportunity. Literally landed at her feet and she took it. But I'm going to give this half because it's so bad. I have a real hate for these films. I don't really know why. It is it's irrational, but it's there. And again, I think because I think that's it. If you know you're making something bad, make it fun. And I think they just don't put enough effort into things like the CGI, into the continuity to make it even believable, into the script where it's like we said, hey, look over here, the wrong fight. Like, it's just stupid. There's very little common sense. There's such unnecessary story. And I don't know why I can't just enjoy these films like I do other shit horror. I just have real unnatural hatred for them.
That's fair. I think sometimes they are just like too stupid where you can't even just like laugh at them. So there's loads of films that you have and we have enjoyed that are kind of good shit. And I just don't think this is one of them. Or maybe, I mean, we've done 2 now and neither of these we've done watching together, drunk with pizza. True. So maybe, we need to give the third one a go.
I did watch this, and the figures I made the same mistake last time as well, where I watched it sober. But I can't be drunk all the time, and I don't think that helps with these films. They're not designed to be watched that way. No. So maybe next time we'll cover number 3. I'll be absolutely smashed. I won't remember anything to tell you about it, but I'll be like, I had a great time.
We should watch it live and do like a live podcast on it.
I don't think I want to. I think I'm just going to be sat there screaming at the telly the whole time. People will realise what a psychopath I am.
This might be our last one, guys, to be honest.
This might be the last for... We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how drunk we get. Do you think you would survive Sharknado 2, the second one?
Yes. So I don't know what I said in the first one. I'll have to go back.
Yeah, I'd have to
would I survive? I'd like to think so, because that's not how I want to go, That's ridiculous. I don't want to die that way. Imagine.
I need a better death.
I need a better death than that. I'm going to say no because, it would be too embarrassing to die that way. What about you?
I'm going to say no, because as you say, it'd be too embarrassing to die that way. I think if I lost an arm or something, I would immediately do an April.
Yeah.
And shove a weapon on there. I just think as well, if I had Ben, I'd be like, let's go. I'm not driving into the city of the tornado.
No. No, I would, if I had Taxi Man Ben, me and him would just drive off onto the sunset.
Yeah. What? Also, again, those people in the as we just said, they were watching a TV show. They were still in the recording when the sharks were flying. Why were they there? There was an active Sharknado and they're just in the studio. I guess they were safe. But like, it just seems so bizarre to me. Again, I was like, I'm going to be with Ben far away. Like, I'm
Yeah,
out.
me and you off with Taxi Man Ben.
Yeah.
There we go.
Amazing. Well, that was Sharknado 2, the second one. Follow us on all the socials, check us out, and see what we're going to be doing next week so you can watch along and enjoy with us. We hope you've enjoyed this ridiculous episode, because every now and then we just need a slightly lighter movie. Until then, bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't
die.
Or get eaten by a shark.
Uh-oh, Finn to the rescue.